In this book you will discover the secrets of achieving business success from the self-made billionaire, Richard Branson. Branson's extraordinary journey involves spearheading ventures such as an airline, record store chain, record label, nightclub, and railway company, all while breaking world records in a hot air balloon. Despite facing numerous failures and obstacles, Branson's unique blend of adventurous spirit and sharp business insight fueled his success and transformed industries. In the book, Losing My Virginity, Branson recounts pivotal life events that shaped his character, highlighting his naivety, adventurous nature, and unwavering determination. These reviews challenge the perception of business as mundane and tedious, offering a captivating glimpse into Branson's exhilarating and unpredictable life. By delving into his stories, you'll discover the significant advantages that come with defying conventional rules, not just in business but in life. The review also cover Branson's daring mission to recapture British hostages from Saddam Hussein in Baghdad during the Gulf War, his strategy to purchase an island at a fraction of the original price, and the audacious balloon journey across the Pacific despite losing half the fuel on the first day. Branson's family instilled in him an adventurous spirit and a willingness to test his limits from a young age. Born into a family with an independent mindset in 1950, he was consistently encouraged by his family, particularly his mother, to embrace challenges and push the boundaries of what seemed possible. At the age of 11, his mother sent him on a challenging journey to visit relatives over 50 miles away. A journey he had to make on a bike without any directions. This experience was designed to cultivate stamina and orientation skills. Despite completing the journey, he was met with another challenge upon his return: chopping logs at the vicar's house. This wasn't the first demanding task set by his family. At just 4 years old, during a family holiday in Devon, his aunt bet him 10 shillings that he couldn't learn to swim by the end of the vacation. Determined, he spent hours in the sea, but by the last day, he hadn't mastered swimming. Undeterred, when he spotted a river during the journey home, he seized the opportunity. His father stopped the car, and Branson, without hesitation, stripped down and jumped into the river. Initially struggling, he eventually managed to swim to the surface, receiving cheers from his family and winning the bet from his aunt. His father, initially unnerved by the impromptu dive, joined him in celebration, realizing the extent of Branson's determination. Branson faced academic struggles at university, driven by his independent attitude and dyslexia. Unable to find success in traditional education, he sought alternative paths. Alongside fellow student Johnny Gems, Branson co-founded the magazine Student. Initially conceived as a platform for criticizing their school, it evolved into a celebration of pop student culture and contemporary issues. Launching the magazine posed challenges, particularly in securing funds and advertisers. Branson employed a clever strategy to attract advertisers, telling National Westminster Bank that Lloyds Bank had already placed an advertisement, encouraging them to join. This tactic worked, and they received their first £250 check. The commitment to Student became a priority over academic pursuits, leading Branson and Johnny to leave Stowe and set up operations in a London basement. Despite his dyslexia affecting his academic performance, Branson invested more time and effort into editing and writing for the magazine than into coursework. Driven by ambition, Branson and Johnny aimed to cover international events, such as the wars in Biafra and Vietnam. To accomplish this, they approached the Daily Mirror with a proposal for a story about a young reporter covering Vietnam. The Mirror agreed, and Student was able to send one of their staff, repeating the arrangement for Biafra. While Student explored political interests, its main focus remained the music scene, featuring exclusive interviews with icons like Keith Richards, John Lennon, and Yoko Ono, as well as reports on club events and concerts. Recognizing the fervor for records in the music scene, Branson identified an opportunity to challenge the dominance of record shops with a mail-order system. He observed that young people, preferring to order records by mail at a lower cost, could create a successful alternative to retail purchases at stores like W. H. Smith's. Branson, along with the Student staff, brainstormed for a catchy and universally appealing name for this new venture. Virgin was suggested, capturing the essence of their team being business, virgins. Thus, Virgin Mail Order was established. In the final issue of Student, an ad for record mail order was placed, generating an influx of inquiries and cash. The unique aspect of this venture was receiving payment in advance for orders, providing capital to purchase records. This allowed them to accumulate a substantial balance without waiting for incoming funds. Branson enlisted his childhood friend Nick as an accountant, and together they planned the logistics of purchasing records and delivering them to customers. Striking a deal with a local record shop that sourced directly from record companies, Virgin could sell records at a discounted rate. Virgin Mail Order thrived throughout the 1970s. However, a potential setback emerged when, in January 1971, the post office went on strike, disrupting Virgin customers' ability to send checks and receive records. Step into our bountiful motivational book summary channel, a realm brimming with profound insights poised to enrich you with knowledge and wisdom, igniting inspiration for transformative action. To extend our reach to countless seekers like yourself, a simple click of liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel can propel us towards reaching millions. Your contribution matters. Your valuable comments are also welcomed for ongoing improvement. Now, let's seamlessly transition back to the review and resume our collective journey towards enlightenment and growth. In 1971, the record departments of major retail stores lacked excitement and were characterized by a dull interior, especially in the realm of rock music. The postal strike prompted Virgin to establish its own record store, envisioning a space that extended the welcoming and interactive atmosphere cultivated with Student. Identifying an opportunity, they secured a location on the first floor of a shoe store on Oxford Street, negotiating with the owner to use the space rent-free. Branson persuaded the owner by highlighting the increased foot traffic passing through his shop. The first Virgin store surpassed expectations, leading them to focus on opening more stores while maintaining the mail order service during the postal strike. By Christmas 1972, Virgin had expanded to 14 record stores across England. However, the success of their lifestyle concept led to a dilemma. The balance between maintaining the desired atmosphere and ensuring profitability tilted toward the former. Virgin stores became popular hangout spots without translating into substantial sales. To address this, they implemented changes, including brighter lights and repositioning the counters and cash register closer to the window to signify a shopping environment rather than a club. This strategy proved effective, revitalizing sales within a couple of months. Branson recognized the lucrative potential in running a recording studio and record label, leading him to explore this new avenue. Observing the formal and strict practices of existing studios, which clashed with the free-spirited pop and rock culture of the 1960s, he envisioned creating a recording studio in a more conducive and attractive environment. In 1971, at the age of 21, Branson began searching for a country house to convert into a recording studio. After weeks of exploration, he discovered a 17th-century manor with iron gates, nestled in picturesque countryside. The asking price, however, was £30,000, a significant amount exceeding his available funds. Despite Virgin's growing success, it wasn't generating such substantial profits. To secure the property, Branson received a surprising £20,000 mortgage offer from the British bank Coutts after investigating the sales figures of Virgin Mail Order and Virgin Music Store. His aunt also played a crucial role by remortgaging her house to lend him £7,500. With these funds, Branson completed the purchase. In addition to the studio, he founded the music label Virgin Records. This integrated label allowed Virgin to sign its own artists, offer them recording facilities, and charge for it, publish and release their records, earning profits, and promote and sell their records through the Virgin chain of music shops, generating retail profit margins. The first artist signed by Virgin Records was Mike Oldfield, who recorded "Tubular Bells" at the Virgin Manor in 1972 and 1973. The album went on to sell over 13 million copies, catapulting Branson's company to unprecedented success. In 1976, Virgin faced financial trouble as, apart from Mike Oldfield, none of the label's acts were profitable. However, during the peak of punk in the UK in the mid-1970s, Virgin sought to sign one of the emerging punk bands. In May 1977, Malcolm McLaren, the manager of the Sex Pistols, signed the band to Virgin. McLaren hoped to be swiftly dropped from their contract due to indecent behavior, as they had been with EMI and A&M previously. Virgin closed the deal just in time to release the song, God Save the Queen, for Queen Elizabeth's 25th anniversary, coinciding with a controversial Sex Pistols concert in front of the House of Commons, resulting in massive publicity and McLaren's arrest. However, Virgin's lack of shareholders meant that McLaren's hopes of being dropped by the label were thwarted. In 1977, the Sex Pistols album, Never Mind the Bollocks, Here's the Sex Pistols, was released and prominently advertised in Virgin store windows across the UK. The use of the word bollocks led to the arrest of a Nottingham store manager, and the police threatened to injunct the album. Branson took action, bringing in linguist James Kinsley for the court case. Kinsley argued that bollocks did not refer to testicles, but was a nickname for priests, suggesting the album title meant, Never Mind the Priests, Here's the Sex Pistols. During the court proceedings, Kinsley surprised everyone by revealing that he was also a reverend, as indicated by his clerical collar. This unexpected turn of events worked in Virgin's favor, and the case was dismissed. Branson had fortuitously found a linguist who was also a reverend, securing a favorable outcome for Virgin. In 1978, Branson, in New York near his future wife Joan, expressed interest in purchasing an island. He learned that showing genuine interest in buying an island could lead to a complimentary stay in a villa and a helicopter tour. Branson contacted an estate agent, stating that he was looking for a place for Virgin Music's artists to relax and record. Upon visiting Necker Island in the Virgin Islands, Branson, although initially uninterested in buying, inquired about the price. The staggering amount was £3 million. Making a bold move, he offered £150,000, resulting in being thrown out of the villa. Back in London, Branson discovered that the owner needed a quick sale to finance another project costing £200,000. He increased his offer to £175,000, and a surprising agreement was reached at £180,000. Beyond the unexpected island purchase, Branson's trip to the Virgin Islands led to the establishment of Virgin Airways. When his flight back to Puerto Rico was cancelled, he chartered a plane for $2,000 and advertised Virgin Airways with a handwritten sign. Virgin Airways, $39 single flight to Puerto Rico. This unplanned venture marked the beginning of Virgin Airways. While Virgin Records initially faced financial challenges, the unexpected success of compact discs, CDs, played a crucial role in turning the tide. In 1980, Virgin Music was running a £900,000 loss despite having signed the Sex Pistols and other new wave bands. Branson, however, continued signing promising but unknown artists, including Simple Minds, The Human League, and Phil Collins. Facing financial concerns, the financial director left, selling his 40% share to Branson. Unbeknownst to everyone, the rise of CDs became a game-changer. The popularity of CDs, even for albums people already owned on vinyl, allowed Virgin to resell their back catalog. Mike Oldfield's first record, in particular, performed exceptionally well on CD, replenishing Virgin's cash balance. Moreover, the trust Branson placed in his musical scout, Simon Draper, paid off as the newly signed bands achieved remarkable success. The Human League's album, Dare, reached #1 on the British charts, selling millions worldwide. Other breakthrough artists like Phil Collins, Boy George and Culture Club, Simple Minds, XTC, and Heaven 17 contributed to Virgin's success. By 1982, Virgin Records had become a leading independent label, generating a £2 million profit on sales of £50 million. The profits soared even higher in 1983. reaching an astonishing £11 million. Virgin Records had transitioned from a precarious financial position to a highly successful and profitable enterprise. In 1984, Richard Branson faced a significant challenge when a U.S. lawyer named Randolph Fields proposed the idea of operating a transatlantic airline. Despite opposition from senior management, Branson was determined to pursue the venture. He argued that leasing just one airplane for 1 year would limit potential losses, and they could withdraw from the project if it proved unsuccessful. After 2 months of negotiations, Boeing agreed to lease a jumbo jet for 1 year. However, the challenges didn't end there. Obtaining flight permits, securing time slots, creating advertisements, and implementing a ticketing system were crucial tasks. To secure the permit, a test flight was required with an official on board. During the test flight, the uninsured plane encountered a flock of birds, leading to an engine explosion and the cancellation of the test flight. Facing another setback, Branson had to deal with the urgent need for a license and a replacement engine for the upcoming commercial flight in 2 days. The new engine cost £600,000, exceeding Virgin's £3 million overdraft. The bank was reluctant to extend the overdraft, putting Virgin on the brink of insolvency. To avoid financial collapse, Branson gathered funds from overseas stores, just enough to keep Virgin Airways operational. Eventually, the airline became legitimate and successful under Branson's leadership, marking a significant accomplishment as he turned 33. In 1990, during the Kuwait War, Richard Branson received a call from Queen Noor of Jordan, seeking assistance for the dire situation in Jordan where over 150,000 refugees from Iraq had fled without proper supplies. The government of Jordan urgently needed 100,000 blankets to avert a catastrophe. Branson and his team, in collaboration with organizations like the Red Cross, Foreign Office, and the Overseas Development Office, managed to gather 30,000 blankets, with additional support from UNICEF and a donation of rice from Sainsbury's. To transport these supplies, Branson decided to remove all the seats from a Boeing 747, loading the plane with over 40,000 blankets, medical supplies, and tons of rice. On the return journey to the UK, they also picked up British nationals stranded in Jordan. Simultaneously, there were British nationals detained in Baghdad who had become hostages. Leveraging his friendship with the King of Jordan, Branson negotiated a deal with Saddam Hussein. In exchange for medical supplies, Hussein would release all children, women, and sick men. On October 23, Branson and a volunteer Virgin crew embarked on a dangerous journey to Baghdad, successfully rescuing most of the hostages. However, they had to leave the men behind at the airport, which was later devastated. In January 1990, Richard Branson took on the challenge of crossing the Pacific in a hot air balloon, aiming to reach California within 2 days and set a world record for the fastest speed and the first balloon crossing of the Pacific. This was his second attempt, with the first one in 1989 having failed just before liftoff. 7 hours into the journey, Branson and his team encountered issues when attempting to drop an empty fuel tank to reduce weight. A mechanical failure resulted in the unintentional release of not just the empty tank but also 2 full fuel tanks, leaving them with only half the required fuel for the 6,000-mile journey. To make matters worse, they lost contact with their control center, leaving them unable to communicate their route. Despite this, they managed to stay in the 200 miles per hour jet stream, flying at 170 miles per hour. However, a propane leak caused a fire in the capsule. In a quick response, Branson and his partner, Per Lindstrand, ascended the balloon to 40,000 feet to deprive the fire of oxygen, successfully extinguishing it. Once the fire was out, their radio started functioning again, providing contact with the control center. However, they received concerning news. The jet stream had shifted, and unless they descended to 18,000 feet to catch another stream heading north towards the Arctic, they would be blown back to Japan. After almost 48 hours, they landed in Canada, 3,000 miles away from their original destination. Despite the challenges, they had flown further and at a faster average speed than anyone had done before in a hot air balloon. In the 1990s, British Airways, BA, engaged in unethical practices to undermine Virgin Airways, Richard Branson's successful venture in the aviation industry. BA resorted to dirty tricks such as contacting Virgin customers to offer them cheaper flights, falsely claiming that Virgin flights were overbooked or cancelled. Additionally, BA hacked into the Virgin database to access booking information and employed private detectives and public relations representatives to investigate and discredit Branson, his family, and his company. Despite evidence and former BA employees willing to testify, competition officials initially refused to acknowledge the existence of a dirty tricks campaign. This changed when Branson obtained a hard drive containing logs and conversations between top BA executives, proving their involvement in discrediting Virgin. Armed with this evidence, Branson took legal action against BA. Faced with undeniable proof, BA quickly shifted from denial to settlement. In a landmark case, BA paid £500,000 to Branson and £110,000 to Virgin Atlantic as compensation for personal and corporate libel. They were also required to issue a public apology and admission of guilt. This legal victory marked the end of BA's attempts to undermine Virgin Airways through unethical practices. Final summary. The essence of this book is encapsulated in the idea that achieving success and wealth can be an enjoyable adventure if you embrace challenges boldly and overcome obstacles audaciously. Richard Branson's life and ventures exemplify the notion that combining fun with fortune is possible when you approach life with a fearless and adventurous spirit. In my life's journey, my mission is to bring meaningful value to my fellow human beings, and I take immense pride in that purpose. Each day, my aspiration is to make a positive impact on someone's life when they wake up. Fortunately, your attention has connected us on this platform, driven by your thirst for knowledge and wisdom. To extend our reach to thousands, if not millions, of knowledge-hungry friends like yourself, I earnestly seek your help. A simple act of liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to the channel can make a significant difference. In return, I wholeheartedly commit to delivering impactful book reviews in a timely manner. Your support holds immense meaning to me, and I am truly grateful. Thank you for joining me on this journey.